I was recently showing somebody how I work with hyperlinks when I'm publishing courses. So what I'll do is I'll create a shape. Let's just say I've got this blue shape here. And this will be my hyperlink. So if I know I want this object to link to another slide or somewhere else, I'll just place a link on top of that. Then what I do is I make this link completely transparent, or this shape completely transparent. When I publish it, the link is there, but you don't see the box. Now when I'm working, I don't really have the object here on top of this. What I do is I'll just move it down like this, so I know there's a link while I'm working, but it's not blocking anything. Another trick you can use is you can apply some transparency to it here, because you're going to make it fully transparent later anyway, and then this way you know the link's there, and then when you're ready to publish, you just go ahead and turn all those links off. But that's the last thing I do when I'm working on a course. So that's one of the things I do is I'll take this box here, and that becomes my link box. Now the reason I separate my links, which is what the question was, is because when you're looking at a PowerPoint slide, let's say there's 4 links on here. This goes to Google, this goes to Google, this goes to Google, and then this goes to Articulate. When you leave a course and you come back in, you can't easily look and see what you have on the slide. So you know you have 4 objects, but you don't really know what they are, where they go to, if they're linked, without having to inspect each slide individually. Starting with PowerPoint 2007, you have the selection pane. So you can click on select here in the selection pane, and this kind of gives you some layers controls. Now you can see it just comes up with these generic names here, so it's a good habit to get used to renaming these. So in this case I have the link here, and I would just call this link. So now this is linking to Google, and so I could just say link to Google. Now if I have this slide here is going to Articulate, I can just duplicate this, and then I can say, okay, this is the one I want to go to Articulate. So I've got that there. Let's say I've got this one here, and this is going to go to slide 10. I can, link to, let's call it section 1, because the slide doesn't really matter, or section 2. So now I can quickly come in here, look at the selection pane, and I can see that I have 3 links and where they're going to. And then, I can, if they're transparent, I wouldn't be able to see where they're at, but by clicking on these you can see that it shows me where the links are actually sitting. So that's one reason you want to separate, or that's one of the reasons I separate the hyperlinks. Now you can hyperlink a picture, so like this is going to the Articulate website. Let's say I'm working on this picture and the client says, I don't really want this picture, I want something else. We can swap it out. All I have to do is right click, change picture, and then I can select a different picture, and then it's there. Now if we right click, you can see the hyperlinking is still available. With clip art it's not quite as easy. I can still right click and do a change picture, but I actually have to find the clip art, so it doesn't work as easy. So if I go change picture, you'll notice here that I've got to actually look for the picture. It gives me the ability to insert a WMF, which is what a clip art is, but I don't have that saved on my computer. So usually what I have to do is I have to do a insert clip art, and let's say we take this picture here, and then I'd have to take the hyperlink that's here and add it to the Chihuahua. But if I wanted to, I could just get rid of this clip art. I can move the Chihuahua here, and I've got my hyperlink, and I can put it on top, and now the hyperlink is still available. So that's another reason why I do that. And one last reason, this is really the reason a lot of issues people run into. So these are both hyperlinked to different places. If I group them together, in PowerPoint the hyperlinking is still going to work on each object, but when it gets published it's going to be treated as a single object, and the hyperlink is going to disappear. So what happens, a lot of people who can't get their hyperlinks to work, what they've done is they've built their hyperlinks, they've grouped all the objects on the page to make it easier to work with, but then they can't get the links to work. So having separate links like this actually helps, because then you can place them there even if the objects are grouped. So those are a few reasons why I use the hyperlink objects the way I do.